Good evening and welcome. I want to talk to you tonight about something that happens in the quiet, dark hours of the night, something most of us never give a second thought. It is not about what you eat for dinner or how much you exercise, though those things are important. It is about what unfolds in your body while you sleep, particularly after the age of 60. If you have been struggling with stubborn weight that will not budge, with a fatigue that coffee cannot fix, or with nights that feel more restless than restorative, the source of your problem might not be in your daytime choices alone. It might be hidden in your bedtime routine. Emerging research from leading institutions is now revealing a surprising and quiet connection between our sleep patterns and the rising rates of blood sugar dysregulation in older adults. What is most concerning is that this process is often silent, symptomless, creeping up over months and years without any fanfare. The warning signs do not show up in a dramatic way. They appear in the subtle shifts of your energy, your sleep quality, and your metabolic health. Over my decades in practice, I have seen this pattern time and again. My name is Dr. William, and tonight I want to walk you through 5 common, yet often overlooked sleep mistakes that people over 60 make, mistakes that quietly, steadily raise the risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. We will explore the science behind each one, understand why it is so deceptive, and most importantly, I will give you clear, simple steps you can take tonight to change course. I promise you, the 5th and final point we discuss may be the most powerful of all. So please, stay with me until the end. Let us begin with the first mistake, one that is so common and so widely believed to be healthy that it pains me to see how many people are unknowingly harming themselves. This is the mistake of skipping your evening meal or eating dinner far too early. I know this goes against almost everything you have heard. For years, the mantra has been to stop eating by 5 or 6 in the evening. The logic seems sound. You are not active at night, so why fuel the body? It should help with weight control and digestion. But after 60, human physiology changes. Your body's sensitivity to insulin, the hormone that ushers sugar into your cells, naturally begins to decline. It is a normal part of aging. When you create an excessively long fasting window, say from 6 in the evening until 8 the next morning, you're asking a system that is already becoming less efficient to manage a significant stressor. Your blood sugar can dip too low during this extended fast. In response, your body, in its innate wisdom to protect you, sounds an alarm. It releases stress hormones, primarily cortisol, to stimulate the liver to produce more glucose and bring your blood sugar levels back up. This often happens in the middle of the night. So you have this silent, internal spike in both cortisol and blood sugar. This spike can raise your blood pressure, pull you out of deep, restorative sleep, and over time, this nightly hormonal turbulence teaches your cells to become resistant to the signals of insulin. It is a slow, steady drumbeat towards prediabetes. I had a patient, a wonderful retired librarian, who was the picture of discipline. She ate her dinner at 5 p.m. sharp, never a snack afterward, and was in bed by 10. Yet, she could not understand why she was consistently waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, her mind racing, her body restless, and why she felt so foggy and drained the next day. Her blood work revealed the truth. She was pre-diabetic. We did not overhaul her entire diet. We introduced one small change, a gentle, nutrient-rich snack about 90 minutes before bed. A small handful of almonds, a half cup of plain yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a single hard-boiled egg. Within a week, her sleep was deeper and more continuous. Within a month, her fasting glucose levels had improved significantly. The lesson here is not about rigid restriction, it is about metabolic stability. After 60, providing your body with a small, steady source of fuel before its longest fast of the day is not a setback. It is a strategy. It is a message to your body that all is well, that there is no need to panic and release stress hormones. It is about balance, not deprivation. Now, let us move to the second mistake, one that is incredibly common in our modern world of flexible schedules and endless streaming. This is the mistake of an inconsistent sleep schedule. Going to bed at 9:30 one night and midnight the next, waking up at 6 one morning and sleeping until 9 on the weekend. You might think that as long as you're getting your 7 or 8 hours on average, you are fine. You are not. This irregularity is quietly wreaking havoc on your body's most fundamental time-keeping system, your circadian rhythm. Think of your metabolism not as a simple machine, but as a magnificent, complex orchestra. In this orchestra, every hormone and enzyme is an instrument with a specific part to play. Cortisol, your wake-up hormone, should be high in the morning and low at night. Melatonin, your sleep hormone, should follow the opposite pattern. Insulin sensitivity is also tied to this rhythm, naturally higher during your active daytime hours and lower at night. When your sleep timing is erratic, it is as if the conductor has left the room. The violin section starts playing at the wrong time, the brass section comes in too early, and the entire symphony descends into dissonance. Your cortisol might be elevated when it should be low, your melatonin suppressed, and your insulin rhythm completely out of sync. This internal confusion makes your body profoundly inefficient at using insulin, even if your diet is pristine. A recent study followed a large group of adults over 60 and found that those with the most irregular sleep patterns, regardless of total sleep time, had a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Your body craves predictability. It thrives on rhythm. My advice is simple, though it requires a degree of commitment. Choose a bedtime and a wake time, and stick to them as closely as humanly possible. Even on weekends, your body does not know it's Saturday. By going to bed and waking up at the same time, you are retraining that internal orchestra, giving the conductor back the baton. You are aligning your hormonal rhythms, and you'll be astonished at how much more stable your energy, your mood, and even your food cravings become throughout the day. This brings us to the third quiet mistake, one that seems almost too simple to be true, yet its impact is profound. This is the mistake of going to bed mildly dehydrated. As we age, our sense of thirst diminishes. It is a cruel trick of nature. What feels like a lack of thirst is often already the early stages of dehydration. Compounding this, many older adults consciously restrict their fluid intake in the evening to avoid those unwanted trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night. It seems like a logical trade-off. Sacrifice a little hydration for an uninterrupted night's sleep. But it is a dangerous bargain. When you go to sleep in a state of even mild dehydration, your blood becomes slightly thicker, more viscous. This small change in consistency impacts circulation, reducing blood flow to vital organs like the brain and the heart. But it also directly affects your metabolic health. Every process in your body, including the delicate dance of glucose and insulin, happens in a water-based medium. Your kidneys, which play a key role in filtering blood and managing fluid balance, need adequate hydration to function optimally. When you're dehydrated, they come under stress, which can also influence blood sugar levels. Studies have clearly shown that mild dehydration can impair glucose metabolism and contribute to insulin resistance over time. You are not just avoiding a bathroom trip. You're asking your body to perform its most critical overnight repair work with one hand tied behind its back. Now, I'm not suggesting you drink a large bottle of water right before you turn out the lights. That would understandably lead to a disrupted night. The solution is one of timing and moderation. Aim to sip a full glass of water or a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, like chamomile or peppermint, about 60 to 90 minutes before you plan to sleep. This gives your body ample time to process the liquid and for you to use the bathroom before settling in for the night. This simple act supports healthy circulation, ensures your organs have the fluid they need to function, and aids in the body's natural overnight detoxification processes. I recall a patient, a retired mechanic, who was baffled by his creeping blood sugar numbers. He ate well, he was active, but his numbers would not budge. When we reviewed his habits, we discovered he often drank less than 4 glasses of water a day and had nothing after his 6 p.m. coffee. Once we introduced a routine of steady hydration throughout the day and that single, strategic cup of warm herbal tea in the evening, his glucose levels began to normalize, and he reported sleeping more soundly than he had in years. The fourth mistake on our list is one that has been completely normalized by our modern, hyperconnected world, but its biological consequences are anything but normal. This is the mistake of screen exposure before bed. Scrolling through your phone in bed, watching a thrilling television show, or even checking your email on a tablet in the hour before sleep. We tell ourselves we are unwinding, relaxing, but our bodies are receiving a very different signal. Your brain uses light as its primary timekeeping cue. The blue wavelength light emitted by our screens is biologically interpreted as daylight. When this artificial daylight hits your eyes in the evening, it directly suppresses the production of melatonin, the very hormone that prepares your body for sleep. But melatonin's role is not limited to making you feel sleepy. It is also intricately involved in the regulation of glucose and insulin. When your melatonin rhythm is disrupted, your entire metabolic schedule is thrown off. A study conducted at a prestigious medical school demonstrated this with startling clarity. They exposed participants to bright, blue-rich light before bed and found that their insulin sensitivity was significantly reduced the very next morning. This was after just one single night of exposure. Imagine the cumulative effect of doing this night after night, year after year. The light you allow into your eyes in the evening directly shapes your hormonal landscape by morning. For a person over 60, whose hormonal systems are naturally becoming more sensitive and less resilient, this nightly assault of light is particularly damaging. It leaves your nervous system overstimulated, your sleep shallow, and your body less able to manage blood sugar effectively. The remedy is straightforward, though it requires breaking a deeply ingrained habit. I urge you to create a digital sunset for yourself. 1 full hour before your intended bedtime, shut off all bright screens. Power down the television, put your phone and tablet in another room to charge. This hour is now sacred time for your body to transition into its natural nighttime state. Instead of a screen, pick up a physical book, listen to calming music or an audiobook, practice gentle stretching, or simply sit and talk with a loved one. Dim the lights in your home. Signal to your deep, primal biology that the day is over and it is time to rest and restore. Your pancreas, your liver, and your entire metabolic system will express their gratitude by functioning more smoothly when you wake. We have arrived at the 5th and final mistake, and, in my opinion, it is the most overlooked, the most insidious, and perhaps the most powerful to correct. This is the mistake of going to bed in a state of mental tension, worry, or rumination. On the surface, it may not seem connected to blood sugar at all. What does a racing mind have to do with your pancreas? The connection is direct, physiological, and profound. When you lie down in bed and your mind is churning, replaying a frustrating conversation from a day, worrying about a problem tomorrow, making mental to-do lists, you are activating your sympathetic nervous system, your body's fight-or-flight response. Even though you are lying perfectly still in a dark, quiet room, your brain is signaling to your body that it is in a state of emergency. This triggers the release of cortisol and other stress hormones. And as we have discussed, cortisol's primary job is to raise blood sugar to provide immediate energy to your muscles and brain to handle the perceived threat. Now, imagine this happening night after night. You go to bed wired and anxious. You fall into a fitful sleep. Your cortisol levels remain elevated throughout the night. Your blood sugar does not get the chance to reset and stabilize. This creates a low-grade, chronic state of metabolic wear and tear. For a person over 60, this nightly stress tax adds up with astonishing speed. It is not just about major crises. It is the low-grade, constant hum of anxiety, the unfinished task, the negative news headline you read right before turning out the light. I worked with a patient, a brilliant retired teacher, who could not understand why her blood sugar was rising despite a near-perfect, whole foods diet and a consistent sleep schedule. When we delved into her evenings, we discovered her routine. She watched intense political commentary and crime dramas on television until bedtime, and then she would lie in bed, her mind racing with the injustices and dramas she had just absorbed. We replaced that final hour. Instead of the news and crime shows, she began taking a warm bath, followed by 10 minutes of gentle stretching and 5 minutes of writing in a journal. Not a diary, but a brain dump where she would download all her swirling thoughts on a paper to clear her mind. The result? Within 2 weeks, her sleep quality transformed. Within a month, her morning fasting glucose levels had dropped by nearly 20 points. The fix for this fifth mistake is about creating a wind-down ritual for your mind, just as you would for a child. Soothing activities, low lights, calming scents like lavender, gentle breathing exercises, or journaling. What you feed your nervous system in the hour before sleep becomes the instruction manual for your body's overnight repair work. If you send signals of chaos and threat, your body responds with stress and high blood sugar. If you send signals of calm and safety, your body responds with restoration and metabolic balance. So, as we conclude, I want to leave you with one central thought, a principle that ties all 5 of these mistakes together. It is this: your body listens while you sleep. It is always listening, always responding to the signals you send it in those critical hours before you drift off. Every small choice, what you eat, the light you see, the water you drink, the thoughts you entertain, is a message. It is a message that tells your cells either to brace for a long, stressful night or to relax into a deep, restorative state of healing. Insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction do not typically begin with a dramatic event. They begin quietly, in the dark, night after night, through these small, repeated signals of instability and stress. The power to change this trajectory, however, is also in your hands, in the small, consistent choices of your evening routine. You have the ability to send a different message, a message of rhythm, of hydration, of darkness, of calm, and of stability. If you send that message night after night, your body will listen. It will begin to restore itself, to rebalance its hormones, and to protect you from the quiet risks that once seemed inevitable. Your body is waiting for your instructions. Make them calm, make them consistent, and make them count. Thank you.